It's time to break new ground and bring Moneyball to baseball. Let's rebuild the New York Mets. FC Metz. Welcome to the Moneyball Clinic. I took the top 30 leagues, simulated them in full detail, then smashed it all together to create an aggregated database. This will be the baseline from which I'll be taking a look at a different team each episode, analysing their squad, creating a simple tactic, and using performance data to suggest practical transfer targets. FC Metz are a yo-yo team, relegated from Ligue 1 5 times in the last 20 years. At one point they even dropped to the Championnat National. In 2023 they returned once more to Ligue 1, where they promptly got relegated again. FM has been no kinder. In 10 simulations they were relegated 6 times. They averaged 32.9 points, the lowest of any team, whilst 30.2 goals scored and 48 conceded were the second worst in each category. This is a team with a lot of issues to fix, and the best way to do that is by hitting a hard reset. We'll be using your world mode, undoing their whole summer and hopefully setting them on the right path. We will take some guidance from real life. Metz's wage spend was just under €200,000 per week, with a top salary of $12,000 to on-loan striker Didier Lamcalze. We will work within those constraints. Metz also have a strong contingent of players from Senegal and Ivory Coast. We will prioritise transfer targets from France or French-speaking African countries. So let's take a look at the squad. I'll try to be a little more concise than usual. In goal, Alexandre Ukija, a positive XG prevented, little contribution sweeping, solid enough to not be a concern. Guillaume Diech and Marc-Aurel Caillard did not play enough. Caillard's contract is up in the summer, so he's been sold for $800,000 to rivals Strasbourg. Ousmane Ba has been called up from the second team to be third choice. At right back, Kofi Kouao and Sofiane Alakouche. Kouao is an impressive tackler, winning 80.5% of his ground duels and average at dribbling and pressing. Alakouche is more progressive and creative, but did so at Paris FC in Ligue 2. Both are solid options. Captain Mathieu Udal is the starting left-back, in the 70th percentile for progressive passes and reasonably safe on the ball. In the final year of his contract, we've extended him on $12,000 per week. At centre-back, Ismail Traoré wins an astonishing 82.9% of his tackles, a decent 71.6% of his headers. He's old, slow, one-footed and unwilling to accept a pay cut. Fally Kande partnered him. He can't jump or head. A 63.9% header win rate is a testament to such. He should preferably be the backup left-back. Boubacar Lowe did not play enough and is also one-footed. We need centre-backs, ideally ones that can play on the left, but if not left-footed, at least not right only. We do have some options. Ahmed Touba is left-footed, ambitious, and moved to Lecce in real life. It was in Serie A where he won 72.4% of his headers and 78.7% of his tackles in the simulations. At €2.2 million, he is the dearest option. Kevin Mwanga is the youngest option. The FC Annecy defender is the best at regaining and retaining possession. He's available for $1 million. Lausanne Spor's Michael Nanizayamo is the cheapest at just $450,000. His 89.3% tackle win rate in the Swiss Challenge League is sensational. That, along with his asking price, is enough to pique my interest. Nanizayamo arrives on $5,500 per week. He'll be joined by Touba, whose left-footedness offers the balance we are otherwise lacking. He'll earn $9,000 for his troubles. We have 3 ball-winning midfielders. Kevin Ndorum is the best of them, 85th percentile for possession won, 80th for possession lost. He is in the last year of his contract and wants an 150% pay rise, so we've sent him to Lorient for €3 million. Stanley Jean-Jacques' statistics paint a picture of a player given a more attacking role. His attributes suggest he's more suited to a defensive one. Habib Maiga did not play enough, but looks suitable for such too. He's in the final year of his contract and will tie us over in the short term. Joseph Ndokwidi is promoted from the second team. Lamine Kamara, Arthur Atta and Warren Chimbembe are more forward-thinking options. Kamara provides expected assists, goals and pressures. Atta excels in possession 1. Chimbembe offers dribbliness. Sami Lassaini is also an option. He didn't play enough though, and he's been sold to Cannes for 245k. On the wings, Abli Jallo, Jek Sabali and Papa Ndiaga Yade. Jallo is the standout in the 75th percentile for goals. Sabali is the most dribbly in the 55th percentile, and despite only being in the 30th percentile for expected assists, that makes him the most creative. Yade is the least effective, and his performances came in Ligue 2. With his contract due to expire, he's been sold to Saint-Etienne for 650k. We have some other wingers, Malik Mbaye, Wagner and Papa Amadou Diallo. None of them played enough minutes. Mbaye has been sent on loan to Quevilly-Rouen. Wagner has been sold for 250k to Amiens. Diallo has been promoted from the second team. Youssef Massis plied his trade in Belgium with OH Leuven, where he didn't score, didn't create, didn't dribble. So we have no plans to give him a second chance. Palmed off to Clement Foot for a cool 1 million. This does leave us with a hole in the, hole. One that could be filled by Nordine Kandel, in the 90th percentile for expected assists and 50th for goals, albeit whilst on loan in Ligue 2. Available for $750,000 from rivals Strasbourg. Alternatively, how about the French Pelé? Brian Pelé. His output is not as impressive as Kandel's, but he has a good personality, offers experience to an otherwise young front line, and most importantly, does not play for a rival. He's also free. As attractive as those last two factors are, Kandel is a bargain, even for 7.5k per week. George Mikatadze, Lenny Joseph and Simon Ellisor make up our striking options. Mikatadze is the star, 85th percentile for expected assists, 70th percentile for goals. He scored exactly as per his non-penalty XG. Joseph is a slight drop-off, dependable for a backup, but scored under his XG. Simon Ellisor is not good, but does lead the way in header win percentage at an underwhelming 32.6%. He'd be shipped out on loan, but no one wants him. The lack of aerial prowess is a concern, and so we've strengthened here too. Cheap, available, prolific, French-speaking giants were surprisingly hard to come by. Monza's David Dior was a consideration. He scored an astonishing 0.56 goals from only 0.38 non-penalty XG. He's also very injury-prone. That left us with Khalifa Koulibaly, wins 47.1% of his headers, outscores his XG comfortably. This was achieved in Ligue 2 with Quevilly-Rouen, but he's available on a free transfer in your world mode, a modest 3.8k per week in wages. So that is our squad, 6 players sold, 1 loaned out, 4 new signings and 3 players promoted from the second team. We've spent €3.4 million, but recouped 6 million in sales, an overall increase in our wage spend of 11k per week, or 16.5k per week if you factor in Udall's pay rise. That brings us to a total weekly spend of 185k, 15k per week below our 200k target. That kinda gives away our formation, a 4-2-3-1, so let's talk tactics. As always, this is merely a skeleton, a very basic tactic that can be considered the starting point. Watching games and assessing performances within it, it can be improved immeasurably. This is not a team who can dominate possession. We're expected to be the whipping boys, and so we'll need to be defensively organised and explosive on the counter. We'll do that with a balanced mentality. We don't want to be too risky, but we also don't want to be stagnant. A low block to draw the opposition onto us, a higher defensive line to maintain compactness. We'll trap inside where the bodies are, we'll press often and aggressively. We'll try our best to stop crosses at source. In transition, we'll counter. We're creating space with our low block, let's take advantage of it. When we lose the ball, we'll counter press. You're probably bored of me saying this by now, but it's the best time to win back the ball before the opposition have established possession. In possession, we'll try to accentuate our counter style. Wide, pass into space, run at defence. Player roles are very vanilla. Plain goalkeeper, 2 plain centre-backs. Nothing majorly limiting, nothing particularly fancy. 2 fullbacks, 1 attacking to provide width on the right, 1 supporting to provide, well, support. A defensive-minded double pivot, a ball winner to harass, a defensive midfielder to keep things moving. Up front, an inverted winger on the right to drift inside when the fullback attacks. An attacking midfielder to be a secondary goal threat. A winger to provide width on the left. A pressing forward to be our first line of defence up top. When Koulibaly starts, he'll be a supporting target forward instead, acting as a facilitator for the rest. Player instructions are kept to a minimum. The attacking fullback stays wider and dribbles more. The inverted winger sits narrower and is encouraged to be creative. And that is it, a simple, counter-attacking 4-2-3-1. All that's left to do is play the game. Here's how it works. All responsibilities have been delegated except those pertaining to transfers, staffing, media, training, set pieces, all under the auspices of our backroom team. I'll go on holiday between games, turn up on match day, pick the starting lineup, then hit instant result. After the game, I'll give the players 1 day's rest. Repeat ad nauseum. So how did we get on? Pretty damn well. A 10th place finish, just 1 point off the top half. Safety was never in doubt. We did not drop into the relegation zone once in the whole season, and at one point were as high as 6th. It was a yo-yo season though. A run of 3 consecutive wins was followed by a 7-game winless streak. Another 3-win streak in February preceded an indifferent end to the season. Overall, we scored 55% more than we averaged in the simulations. We also conceded 12.5% more. A fair trade. We had the least possession, made the most clearances and interceptions. We sprinted more than any other team. These aren't the stats of a good side. We were below average across the board. But that's a darn sight better than being the worst team. As for the signings, Nanise Ayamo beat out Traore for a starting spot. His tackling wasn't great, only 64%, but aerially he was monstrous, winning 80% of his headers. Tuba was average, 76% tackle win rate and 69% header win rate. Nordine Kandil showed promise, 7 goals and 7 assists. He was joint top with 14 overall goal contributions. A solid showing for the now 22-year-old, and a player we can build around as we look to transition into a more established team at this level. He was joint top with our other signing, Khalifa Koulibaly. He earned the starting spot, netting 13 times and pushing Mikatadze out to the wing. Sure, none of these are the stats of world beaters, but we're not signing world beaters. We needed players to guide us to safety, and they did their job to aplomb. I'm pretty pleased with that. See you next time.